Hi, I'm Tiffany Stuckey with ArtsAltoona Live. Thank you so much for joining us here today with Sam Turo of HHG Drums. We're going to hear about his awesome custom drums. And as always, don't forget to subscribe to ArtsAltoona Live. So to begin, what is HHG Drums?
So HHG Drums, the acronym stands for Haggerty Hollow Guild. It's kind of a cool story. My dad, we have like a family property up near Erie. And that property, if you look on like a topographic map, it's called the Haggerty Hollow. And my dad was like, he's like an OG hippie. Like he wanted to start like a commune back in the day. And like he was into woodworking, and I learned a lot of stuff from him. And that was the name he was going to give it, was the Haggerty Hollow Guild. And he never did anything with it. Like it was just kind of like a pipe dream or something, like something he kicked around. I loved the name, so I stole the name when I started building drums.
Right. Now, so how did you get started building custom drums?
So I've been playing drums forever, since I was like 12, 13 years old. And I just kind of stumbled across it on the internet. I stumbled across people making like specifically this type of drums, which are called stave drums. And that is, most drums are made from like plywood. So it's thin layers of wood wrapped into a circle, and then there's glue, and it's, you need big $100,000 equipment to make it, and it's what the big boys use to make their drums. But this method, it's kind of like a wine barrel. So there's like individual pieces of solid wood joined together and then formed into a circle. And you can do that with much more attainable like machinery. So just kind of found it on the internet and just decided to start making them.
Yes, and he has amazing time-lapse videos that you need to check out of this process.
Oh, thank you.
It's so great.
Thank you.
So interesting. So can you walk us through the process? If you get a custom order, how do you start? How do you go through the process of making these amazing drums?
Sure. Yeah. So it usually starts with, just like you said, it's like a custom order. Somebody will hit me up on Instagram or all of our other social media websites and whatnot, and it all starts with the customer and just kind of talking to them. Because drums are really like, they're like snowflakes, man. They come in a million flavors, and there's all types of aesthetics and sonic choices that the drummer might be looking for. Like they want it to sound this way, they want it to look this way. So I take what they already know and what they're after, and then I take my knowledge and I try to help guide them to like exactly what's going to work for them. And then once we get that boiled down, then I just go about the process of making the drums. And it starts with hardwood lumber, rough cut hardwood lumber. I import some of it if it's like an exotic species. Like this is like zebra wood, and this comes from like South America. So this stuff so cool. Thank you. So I'll like stuff like that I'll import, and then the rest of these like mahogany, maple, and ash, and maple again. That stuff's local, so I just I just buy that stuff local, and then the first thing you do is you get the boards, you flatten them down. And then you join them into, you make them into small segments with bevels on the edges. And then those bevels are very precisely figured out so that the amount of pieces you use will roll together into a circle. And then you glue it up. And then after it's glued up, it looks kind of like this, but with flat sides on it. Okay. And then after it's glued up, I put it on this big lathe machine over here. That spins it around at like 20,000 RPM, and I use a combination of hand chisels and like machine tools to just shape it into a cylinder.
It's so fascinating.
That's the shell part, and then you're to the part where you have like just kind of, this is like the shell, where it's just like a raw wood cylinder. That's just to get to the point where you have a shell. And most people, they just like, when they do custom drums, they just buy like a plywood drum shell. They get on the internet and they're like, plywood drum shell, and then they have it shipped to them and they put some stuff on. But I actually make the shell from scratch, and then after that it gets into like spraying the finishes and drilling the holes and cutting the bearing edges, and a lot of little steps in there to get to like the finished product.
Yeah, holy cow. Now the different woods, the different types of material, you use copper, like how does that affect the sound of a drum?
Yeah, they're all very different. Like, well, I mean, it can be subjective. I say very different, like to your average person, they're going to be like oh.
Me.
Yeah, like to your average person, they'll be like, oh, what's your snare drum sound? Cat! Like, they all sound the same to them, to most people. But like, for drummers that have been doing it for a while, they sound really different. Like, you know what sound you want. You know that a steel drum is going to be very loud and, you know, bright and fast attack and a quick decay. And then, like, you know, like a mahogany drum is going to be kind of wet sounding and warm and, like, you know, completely different animals. So they have, the materials and then the way you shape them all greatly change the final sound.
Right. Now, why Hollidaysburg, Blair County? What made you come here? What made you stay?
We, me and my wife, I moved down here for a job like 10 years ago now. I work for Penelec for the power company. I got out of high school. I went to they have like a program for you to, like, it's like a pipeline program that you like you get a college degree and then you work right into a job with them. The kind of deal is though that, like, they will pay for your college degree if you work for them for a certain amount of time.
Right.
But they get to pick where you go. So originally I'm from up near Erie, like 45 minutes south.
Okay.
Franklin, PA. And after I got done with college, they were like, okay, we're going to send you to Altoona. And I was like, I don't know where that is. I've never been there. Can you show it to me on a map? And so they, you know, I came down and I was free to leave the company after 3 years, but I liked the area. I liked the job with Penelec, so I just stayed here, set up shop.
Awesome. Well, we're glad you did.
Well, thank you.
Now, what has been your favorite drum that you've ever created and why?
That's a really hard question. That's a hard question. That's a really hard question. There's been a couple. I mean, this batch that we worked on right now, me and my apprentice / partner Richie, this is definitely representative of some of the best work I think we've done yet, because there's some things we're doing now that it's taken a long time, like years to get to the point to, like specifically these wood hoops, like these, I've been working on trying to figure out how to do those for like 3 years. It's been so hard. So I would say probably one of the ones in this batch was a batch of 12 that we did. And half of them have these wood hoops. Okay. I would have to probably say there's a 6-inch black walnut shell with black walnut hoops, chrome lugs. I love it. Amazing. I don't want to sell it, but I have to.
Right.
That's definitely up there.
Now, and what has been the most memorable response of somebody who ordered? Because these are all custom. You know, you're.
Yeah, we get a lot. The customer feedback's always really cool. Babe, do you remember any good ones? There's a lot of I don't remember any specific good. There's a lot of cool reviews. Like, it's every once in a while I'll kick back through like the Facebook page and just like look at all the 5-star reviews and be like,
thank you.
Very humbling. It's very nice. There's been some. I was just telling Richie the other day. There was this one guy in like Latvia or something. He hit me up. He has like in his town, in his specific town, they had this weird ritual, or like not ritual, but like a celebration every year where they like part of the shtick is like a troubadour of drummers run around the town and they like play these big like antique field drums, but then they do like a dance on top of their drums. Like they put it like on edge and then like stand on top of their drum and like do like a dance on top of it. And this guy, like broken English email, like hits me up. He's like, I need this drum. I need to be able to stand on it. So we made that for him. We made it super thick, and I like sent him pictures of like me standing on the drum. Like before I sent it off to Latvia, I'm like standing on the drum. So I sent that off, and he had a cool story once he got it. Like he sent back pictures of like them roaming the streets of whatever weird little town he's from and just like doing their thing. It was really cool.
That's so fun.
That was a cool one.
Now, as we start to wrap up, who or what inspires your work?
It's a good question. There's, like we were talking about earlier, there's a lot of YouTube makers that I'm hugely inspired by. I watch a lot of hours of just people making stuff on YouTube, and that's hugely inspiring. Like a lot of these, like I would not have gotten started if it wasn't for a guy in Japan called Smiley the Jazz Cat, and he was just this Japanese dude. I think he only made like 3 or 4 snare drums, but he documented his whole process, put it on YouTube, and it was just like this dude in the back of his apartment with like a hand plane and a chisel, like made drums like this, and they were beautiful. And I was like, well, man, if he can do it, like I can do it. Yeah. So yeah, a lot of makers on YouTube, and then just a lot of the other custom drum companies, because it's a crowded field. Like I'm not alone in this. There's hundreds of companies doing way better work than I am, like doing just amazing stuff, and it's like. It's always fun to get on social media and just like cruise through Instagram and see what other people are doing. And I'm like, oh man, like a copper drum? Like I didn't come up with that. Somebody else did, and I was like, I definitely need to try that.
Awesome. Now, for one final question, what does the future hold? I know we were talking about adding to the snares and adding some other things. So what are the plans with HHG drums?
Well, we're just hoping to just continue to grow. I still have a day job, like I'm still rocking the 9 to 5, and I would like to eventually transition out of that into doing this full time, and then just hopefully just sell more products, making great stuff, and just do more. That's just growth is the plan.
Well, thank you so much for your time today. These
are
pleasure. Amazing.
Thank you for coming so much. It was my pleasure.
All right. Now, audience, it's your turn to share. I hope you'll join in the discussion by leaving a comment below. Does this video inspire you in some way? Do you have a story that is relevant for our subscriber community? If so, let us know. And if you haven't had the opportunity, please like this video and subscribe to our channel right here on YouTube, and like our Facebook page at ArtsAltoona. We have a weekly newsletter that has something for everybody in Blair County. And audience, thank you so much for your part in ensuring that everyone knows how amazing the Blair County community is, and about the people and organizations like Sam Turow of HHG Drums that help to make it that way. We'll see you next time at ArtsAltoona Live.